What's up? What's up, people? What's going on, YouTube? This me, Ben the Messenger, man. How y'all doing tonight? How everybody doing tonight, man? Um, I decided to make a video tonight to talk about what I experienced today. So I was on the bus earlier today, coming from the gym. I was on the bus earlier today, right? And as I'm on the bus going to my destination, I was on the bus with white males, two white males, and uh, it was one black lady, one older black woman, two white young males, and it was a bus driver, and the bus driver was a white older guy that was driving the bus. So, what about I got on the bus and I was riding, and three of these guys, they started to get into religion. They started to get in talking about, you know, religion, Donald Trump, and talking about the end times and stuff like that. And they started talking about, I know the bus driver, he started talking about how saying that Jesus, saying that God, Jesus is a demon. Him and other folks, they're talking about, he was saying that Jesus was a demon and just saying all type of stuff and saying how they can become gods, we can all become gods, and all this and that, and talking about energy and all this old stuff. And that stuff right there is basically witchcraft. And at first I didn't say anything. I stayed to myself. I didn't get involved in it. I stayed to myself, because I normally I mind my business. I don't jump in other people's business. But I don't know if it was the Holy Spirit or what. Something just led. Most likely it was God. It's like He led me to say something, to let them know what they're getting into, what they're doing is just not right. So I basically told, and basically was saying, and what I said is, I was like, because the bus driver, he was saying that there is no God, God doesn't exist, and saying that God doesn't exist, there's no God, and that all that was just made up, and saying that there is no God, but there is a Jesus and all this and that, talking about Jesus. And so what I said was, I said people do a lot of witchcraft. I said people, so I kind of chimed in and I was like, so people also be getting into stuff, getting into this new age stuff, dibbling and dabbling and stuff that you have no business getting into. And I told them, and of course it got quiet on the bus. They were kind of looking at me like, like it was something wrong with me, but I didn't care. Basically told them, that stuff is witchcraft. And when I said that, you got the bus driver, he gonna say there's no such thing as witchcraft. You tell him, I'm gonna tell you, witchcraft is not real. And I told him, I said, oh yes, witchcraft is real. See, that just shows you how I'm telling you, man, the enemy is on this job. These evil spirits, um, the spirit of occultedness, the spirit of witchcraft. Satan got a lot of people. Satan literally got these people hypnotized and really thinking that this witchcraft and stuff, because that's what it is that they're doing and that they're talking about. It's witchcraft, and basically was mocking God, and basically saying stuff. So I told him, I said, God simply gave instructions in the Bible. Do not dibble and dabble in the occult. You know what I'm saying? God simply said, do not do that stuff. Um, that stuff is an abomination to him. Like I said before, man, people are so fascinated with the spirituality. God will allow for us to enter into the spiritual realms, but through his uh, supervision in the right way. But people are doing it in the wrong way, and it's not pleasing to God. And I basically told him, God is real. God is very real. Jesus is real. And I said, in order to get to the Father, you got to go through the Son. It's a lot of people nowadays, they say God, they ain't got no problem with saying God and God this and God that. They believe in God, but when it comes to Jesus, some of them, they don't want to say that. It's both the same thing. You gotta go through the Son to get to the Father. And I basically told all of them on that bus, I told them, I said, the Lord basically gave all of us simple instructions. He told us not to dibble and dabble in that stuff. That is an abomination. And I told him, I said, a lot of people like to play around with tarot card readings, seances, all types of voodoo, magic, all of those stuff. That's new age stuff, and that's witchcraft. And God simply said, stay away from it. And that's exactly what I told them. And they all just kind of, they listened, but I could tell they were looking crazy. And I didn't get a chance to say everything that I wanted to say, but I told them, and I said that, I said a lot of people like to mock God. That's exactly what I said. And this just shows right here, man, a lot of people don't believe in God and just mocking God and talking about energies and talking about, we can become the next gods and all this old stuff. No, I'm telling you, we live in a world where people think that they're God. And, yeah, it's crazy, man. I just wanted to come on here and say that and tell y'all, man, like, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Basically saying that God is a demon, cursing God, you know what I'm saying? Mocking God, blasphemy, just doing blasphemous and saying blasphemous things towards God. I'm telling you, these people will have to take accountability on Judgment Day. I'm telling you, man. But I just want to come on here and let y'all know that, man. A lot of people think that they can play with God. And a lot of people don't really believe in Jesus Christ. They really don't. So I just want to come on here and say that if anyone liked this video, like always, y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And I hope all of y'all enjoy y'all night. And I hope all of y'all be safe and take care of y'allself. And thank all the ones, all the real ones, all the real men and women out there that support me and that watch me. I really appreciate y'all. And for the haters, for all the haters out there, you can kick rocks. But until then, I'll see y'all some other time. Peace out. Ben the Messenger.